video, and I am a certified technician, and I'm going to do an inspection on this vehicle here. It's a 2007 Lexus GS 350 all-wheel drive. Going to start the vehicle, all the lights come on, and all the lights reset after shoot. And there are no engine lights on, no check engine lights on whatsoever. Steering wheel right here has a push button where you bring in the steering wheel in and out. That works good. Up and down works good. Okay, just turned on the AC set to 65 degrees. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the thermometer in here and see what that puts us on. Look at that, right at 66 with the start. That is awesome. That's actually really good. The vehicle is just started. Awesome. So AC works. Okay, now I'm gonna check the horn, windshield washer and wipers, working pretty good, nice and clear, good wipers. Now I want to check the windows. We got automatic windows, all 4 windows. So I want to check the driver's door. It's got a nice tint to it. Passenger door windows. Oops, that's the rear. I did the rear by mistake. Let me just do the passenger right there. Okay, now I'm going to do the rear. This side, I'm going to go outside to the other one. And I'm going to do this one here. Perfect. Now we see that the temperature keeps dropping down. It's dropping down to 48 degrees. On the AC, let's see what it's set up to. It's actually set up to 65, so it's actually blowing right out the vents at way below the 65 that's required, which actually will help to cool. So this car is equipped with memory seats, 3 different levels, which is kind of cool for both sides, for the driver's side and the passenger as well. I'm pretty sure those work. I'm not going to test that this time, but I'm going to check the power locks, make sure the locks work. It'll work pretty good on all the areas that we have are things for the sunroof. So to open the sunroof, just press, sunroof opens right up, right? And then we can close it, which is to close it right here. It's actually automatic close. I didn't realize that. Over here we got the tilt up to tilt up the sunroof, so it'll actually open from the back, and then tilt down to close it on here. This car is also loaded with lots of features on here. Like we have the windshield washer for the headlights, automatic mirrors, gas, and trunk opener, which is this unit right here. It actually has more in here. This is for the rear shade on here. I'm just gonna press that real quick, and I'm gonna show you how the rear shade opens and closes. Another nice thing about this vehicle is with the remote is that if you're not, say your vehicle is closed and you press this the little unlock button on here and you leave it pressed, you can leave that press and the vehicle will actually open up all the windows before you get to there, including the sunroof. Now that we have looked at the inside of the vehicle, now we're going to check inside under the hood to see how everything is in the powertrain. We're going to check the batteries, the charging system, the static system, make sure all the fluids are okay and that it's a good running engine. Now we're checking the battery over here. So it shows us we're at 12.5 batteries, volts on the battery. Let's make sure it's in the vehicle. Battery test. Fill the battery. 700 grams. It's testing the battery, and it's saying it's a good battery. Okay, so we're at 100%. Perfect. The charging system is normal. Looks like we're getting 13.5 volts out of the alternator, which is perfect. Now that we have tested the battery, the charging, and the starting system, we're gonna go ahead and check the fluids. We can come here onto the reservoir. As we can see, it's pretty much halfway. That is actually very, very normal because this is a reservoir. It should never be filled up to the top. It is actually at a perfect level right there. I'm gonna check the fluid. The fluid looks nice and clear. It actually looks like really, really nice and clear. Very nice. Brake fluid, it's on the back here. Let me see if we can come here. Open it up. Brake fluid, I'm gonna stick my finger in there. Again, it's nice and clear. It looks almost as clear as water. And the oil dipstick is on this side. Open it here, put it on here. The oil is so clean that it's not visible, but if I go like this, put my finger through it, you can actually see the fluid, the oil on it. Now that I've checked the interior of the vehicle and under the hood, I'm going to check the brakes, the tires, the suspensions. I'm going to look for any leaks or any loose items underneath the vehicle. Now that I have all 4 tires of the vehicle in the air, I'm going to get underneath and take a look. I got a little helper here, Mr. Buster. I'm going to use this tool here to measure the tire gauge. Basically, the main thing is I'm going to use this needle here. I'm going to put it against the tire, and what we don't want it to be on the red or the yellow. It's green. And that's green. Well, this is the last tire, and still on the middle. So now I'm going to use this to measure the thickness of the brake pads. These are what is called brake gauges. This is the right front tire. Looks like this one here. It's almost brand new, nice and thick pad on there. It's above the first one, which is 100%. This one is 90%. It's actually right there, 90%. The left front tire. Again, then I'm going to check the thickness of the padding here. Brake pad looks like this one's just the same. Actually, yeah, just at 90% as well. Very nice. Rear brakes are just as good. You can see this is the pad right here. I'm going to check the thickness of it. It's a little bit below 90%, but that's actually pretty normal, as the rear pads are usually a lot thinner than the front pads. This one here says it's a little over 75%. You see it has some wiggle time on here, but that's those are pads good for years to come. Right rear is just the same as the other one, which means that we have an even wear on all 4 brake pads, meaning that the brake calipers are not locked up or anything like that. Now I'm going to use my nice light on here to check the rest of the suspension on here. What I'm going to be looking for is for loose ball joints, leaking struts, or any loose suspension items. Okay, so basically this is very simple. You go like this, we check it back and forth, make sure the ball joints are good, which they look good. The struts, they look a little rusty, but that's normal. Okay, the front suspension is nice and tight, and I don't see anything leaking. Then ball joints look good, struts look good. Notice I actually have, let me show the front something around here. We're gonna have to get this little rod here. It looks like it is a sensor, so when the vehicle turns, we're gonna have to get that little piece here. It looks like a broke off or some sort. So it's just a little rod. Probably get that. That's good. Everything else is good. Everything else looks good. And now we're here the rear suspension again. Looks like we got a little bit of rust, but that's okay. That's normal because that's always exposed to the elements. The main thing that we want is that we don't want any movements on any of these parts on here, which is your suspension or all control arms. Okay, you see at the end there's no leaks. On here, on this rear shock over here, looks like this one here is leaking a little bit. I'm not sure if you can see this here, but it's got a little bit of a leak, so this will have to be replaced in the future. The right rear suspension, again, all the arms look tight. This shock over here looks nice and dry, so this one's good. Brakes look good, everything else actually is pretty good up there. So I don't have a full lift to get underneath the vehicle, and it's actually really dangerous to get underneath the vehicle like this, just being supported by a jack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this selfie stick, and use a selfie stick to look under the vehicle. Okay, so it's going to be something like this. This is the back of the vehicle, and you look at it from the back. So we're going to look for any holes, any leaks. Any leaks or holes, that's the exhaust system there. Also getting a little bit of rust, again that's normal. It's from the side of the vehicle. Looks like they had replaced a little piece of pipe over there of the exhaust. At least onto the cats on both sides. That's actually a good thing. The main thing is that we're not looking for any leaks or loose parts. So that concludes our inspection of the vehicle. We checked on the inside, under the hood, under the suspension, and under the vehicle. I haven't reviewed the videos from underneath the vehicle yet, but based on what I saw when I was lifting the vehicle, looks like everything looks pretty good. Alright, I found out some minor defects with the left rear shock, and nothing really major. Alright, take care.